One of this year's best action films is animated, and its name is Incredibles 2.
Combustion imminent? What does that mean? Ah!
Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage and I was absolutely blown away by the animation quality Pixar has put on screen with Incredibles 2. I deliberately didn't watch any trailers besides the Jack teaser beforehand, so I had really no idea what I got myself into. But even now that I've watched them for incorporating snippets into this review, it's not the same as seeing the film on the big screen, so I can make it really quick. Go see this movie. Oh, people have already! It's the biggest animated movie ever in the US? Well, I'm late, I know, and I even got to see the film at an early screening, because here in Austria it's not coming out until the end of September. Different release dates can be such a pain. So maybe I'm not telling you much new today, but I want to talk about the movie anyway and make a review, because it's one of my favorite films of the year and I want to cover it. Like its predecessor, it was written and directed by Brad Bird, and even though 14 years have passed since the release of the first one, in the world of our Fantastic Four-like superhero family, we continue just where we left off. After all, the setting was kind of this 60s-like world anyway, and when you're doing animation you don't really have the problem of aging actors that much. The film starts right off with a big attack of Pixar's version of the Mole Man, the Underminer. And I'm not kidding when I say that I got goosebumps for several minutes, because the action in Incredibles 2 is so visceral and the quality level of the animation reaching such a high that I was watching the film with my mouth wide open. The way the film is shot puts you right at the edge of your seat, and it's not just fast and exciting, but they also create an extremely dense atmosphere. The film has this very unique design that's quite slick, and each character as well as the locations, both outside and inside, are very striking, very clear cut, highlighting exactly what each character or scene stands for. It's most obvious with Bob Parr, aka Mr. Incredible himself, whose power is superhuman strength, and he himself is this giant tree of a man. Now when he's not able to live out what he thinks he's meant to do, just put that giant character in a place or in contrast to something that's tiny. In the first film it was this tiny little work cubicle. In the sequel it's mainly his relationship to Jack, the baby of the family, who can rest on his pecs like a little tiny fragile new human being. But of course Jack has also superpowers. Supposedly 17 different ones according to the IMDb trivia, and he's actually quite a challenge for his overwhelmed father. And even more so if you put his normal demands as a baby on top of that. Because in Incredibles 2 the roles of Mr. and Mrs. Incredible are swapped. In the first one it was him who was out on a big adventure, but now he has to function as a stay-at-home dad, while Helen, aka Elastigirl, is out on a mission to restore humanity's faith in superheroes so they could become legal again. Coming back to the atmosphere the film generates, I can't highlight enough how well they work with different colors, lights and shadows, and also what's in focus and what's out of focus. The whole film is a big 3D animation show-off, but it's all working in line for a greater good, taking the audience on a fun, exciting adventure with a good story and great characters. I think it works primarily as an action film, combining the flavors of James Bond-style grandeur, especially thanks to Michael Giacchino's big and prominent orchestral score, and on the other side, superheroes of course. Aside from the early set piece, the fight against the Underminer, there are some truly breathtaking action scenes involving Elastigirl stopping a runaway train and chasing after the new villain called Screenslaver. Heck, the movie moves along so fantastically that it's even a big joy to see her just ride her new motorcycle. And when she's kind of swinging like Spider-Man from building to building, instead of web shooters she has her ever-stretching limbs, you almost get a little bit dizzy by the speed of it. The film utilizes her abilities to such a full effect that you don't even need a story to justify that she's our main center of attention in the sequel. But of course you also get an intriguing story And the way it unfolds and how it cuts back and forth between her missions and Bob's conflicts with their children is very well done. Up until a certain point, I think, because once the villain's plan and identity are revealed, it gets a bit bumpy for me. I know that the movie has been out in most countries by now, but I still try not to give anything important away here. But let's just say that the reveal is very much in line with many other Pixar villains, and for an adult it's not that surprising. This wouldn't be a problem at all, especially in a film made for the whole family, if the antagonist's plan would have been a bit more fleshed out. When the screenslaver's voice was coming from the off while Elastigirl was searching, and it addressed how more and more people look for substitute entertainment in their life, fulfilling their dreams and longings for adventure through other people, either superheroes or just things on screens, I was really digging it. This could have been really fascinating and meta, but it was just touched on, and the villain's main motivation was yet another, and those two didn't work that well together in my mind. I also thought the back and forth between the mission part and the domestic stuff worked great at first, but towards the end there were one or two instances where it slowed down the pacing. But this is just a minor complaint, and I haven't even touched that much on the film's humor and the incredible voice acting from everyone involved. First and foremost, Craig T. Nelson as Mr. Incredible and Holly Hunter as Elastigirl. Especially the latter has such a unique voice, and I think it's quite the odd choice as well, but that's why I love it so much. Hunter gives the character this warm, motherly, and also very powerful, maybe fierce flavor, and I think she sounds super hot as well, which again fits this sexy, cool spy adventure vibe. All in all, I had a fantastic time with Pixar's Incredibles 2, and it's really something that everyone can enjoy. If I have one major complaint, it's that I thought the finale wasn't as spectacular both visually and suspense-wise as the amazing stuff from the first half. So in German I'd say, die Unglaublichen 2 machen genau da weiter, wo der Vorgänger aufgehört hat. Und das heißt, großartig inszenierte, mitreißend erzählte Spionage, Superhelden, Actionkost. Schnell, aufregend und einfach verdammt unterhaltsam. I give Incredibles 2 8 out of 10. It's more like 8.1, but I don't do that. Alright, that's it like always. Comment below and let me know what you think about Incredibles 2. Apparently everyone has seen it already. My next review will be coming this Friday and Deniz the Buddymeister will join me for it. We will talk about S.S. Rajamouli's incredible Magadira. Until then, you can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram simply at TheJimmyCage. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like, and make sure you hit that bell for all I have to tell.